Hey y'all, so today on Project Gus Gus we're going to install some affordable off-road window blanks. These blanks are made out of 8-inch steel. They're like $130 for the pair from Affordable Off-Road. It's going to require me to gut the back half of the interior so we can push the old windows out, get these painted, glued in, and prepped. In doing so, I'm also going to do the headliner. I got some material the other day at Joann's Fabrics, and that's going to be another video coming up. I just figured while I have the interior part, I might as well do the headliner. Couple tips and tricks right off the bat. When taking the interior part, I noticed the screws are all different sizes and whatnot. It's best to just put the screws back in the holes. You could bag them and tag them, but it just takes a lot more time. Just pull the screws, pull the plastic, put the screws back in their place. Unless they're in your way, then you might want to tag them. So let me lay these window blanks out, and I'll show you what we're working with. So it's kind of hard to see. I don't have much room in the garage, but this is the window blank, and you guys can see this is the driver's side. And then over here we have the passenger side window blank. Now I'm going to scuff these, prime them, and paint them to match the bumper. We're going to do them a matte black. I'm debating an up in arms whether I'm going to do matte black on the inside as well, and I'm going to do a dark gray like the interior, or I'm going to do a body color. That's to be determined. You can see Affordable Off-Road puts their insignia on them. They got pre-cut holes, and this came with bags of hardware. Initially, Affordable Off-Road sent me the wrong bag of hardware. They sent me something for a different Jeep. But these guys are badass. I called them and told them what happened, and they sent me some new hardware second day UPS on their dime. These guys are stand up, they stand behind their product, and they want to do right by their customers. So, let me go to the interior, and I will show you guys what we're working with. My Jeep's not exactly the cleanest inside. You guys can see I got some debris back here, but I'll just clean that up. As far as interior goes, you've got screws along here, and then up in here, and then they go all the way up to the seat, which is a whole nother. You guys see, I got some plastic here that goes down by the door. And probably because I won't be able to get this done all in one day, at least get the interior done all in one day. I'm going to have to do this in segments so I can put it back together so I can pick my kids up from school and take them to school. You guys can see we got to take the screws out up here. I probably don't have to remove the seatbelt to do the window, but I'm going to have to remove the seatbelt to do the headliner. So, we're going to take those down and bolt them back in. But, as far as this goes, it's just remove the lower trim. And I don't even know if I'm going to have to take this part out. I might, just so I get some bolts through the window. So, let me see what we're working with. I'll get started on some teardown and go from there. So, to get the window out, I'm using a couple screwdrivers, prying it out, and you guys can see the seal pulling up. It's hard to do this while I'm filming, so I'm showing you guys bits and pieces. So let me work on this some more, and we'll see what we get to. So once you get the window going, all I got to do is push and pull on it. I'm going to try going outside and pulling so I don't drop this while I record. But, oops, sorry guys. It's hard to do one-handed, like I said. So, windows out, seal on it. You guys can see the rust. You guys can see the blue. I'm going to scuff this, wipe it down, and try to mask it so I can put the new blank in. Alright y'all, so I told you I was worried about the seal difference, and there is a huge difference. So I scuffed it all up with some 220. Wiped it down with a rag. And now I'm going to prime it. And I've got a piece of cardboard so I don't have to cover the whole window. I'm going to prime it with some gray. Then we're going to just flat black it and put some clear on it. And cardboard just so you guys can see what I'm doing. Okay, y'all. So before I lay the final coat and I sand this and smooth it and clean it all up, what I did was marked my 4 corner holes and I got it situated. And then I put the bolts on the bag, or the nuts on the bag. Here, I'll show you guys. Hold on a second, y'all. Sorry, technical difficulties. Then what I'm going to do is come out here and I'm going to drill the rest of these holes. Then I'll go ahead and flat black and matte clear this thing and bolt it in. I'm starting to second guess my point of going black. I think it would look better body color now. But I'm committed. I'm going to finish it out. So let me get to these holes drilled and we'll go from there. Tech tip. When you guys are going to drill these holes, use a center punch, hammer them so your drill bit won't walk. I use a unibit. You guys can see. Anybody who's drilled some holes knows these things are badass. So what I would do is, this one's already center punched, so and it's kind of beneficial to drill through the sheet metal too, because their holes aren't perfectly round, which is not a problem, but it makes life easier if you guys clearing them out, so you guys can see, sort of. And then I'll take one of their bolts, and it fits right in. So let me get these holes drilled, and I'll promise you guys, once I get the hang of this video thing, we'll do time lapses, but I'm not there yet, so my videos are kind of crude, and I apologize for that. But I think this is going to turn out sweet. Well, you guys, one thing when I started this channel, I said I'll never hide any problems I have. I thought my baking idea would work in a hot room. It was 72 degrees in the house, and I guess not. The paint started cracking, and anybody who knows, that's either too hot or too cold, or even too thick a coat for the weather. So, scraped it all off, and got to start again. Alright, so for attempt 2, I've rescuffed, re-cleaned the metal. Let's shake our paint. We're going to try making sure we get an even, thin coat of primer this time. This has been sitting in the bathroom at house temperature, which is about 70-something degrees. It's warmed up a little bit. It's about 60 outside right now. So see if I get a thin coat going and go from there. This is already laying better than the first attempt. When spraying, you want to start off your piece of equipment or your piece of that you're painting and come off of it. You want to go past what you're painting. That way you get an even coverage. And it's okay if you guys don't cover every inch with the first pass. We can let this sit, bake. Well, not bake, but let this sit, cure for a little while. And then we can come at it with a second coat and make sure we get plenty of coverage. It's already looking better. I'm going to let it sit for a second, and then we're going to take it back in the house and let it warm up. I know my garage is a mess. Sorry, guys. So here we go. All the holes are drilled. Windows blanket snugged in. Not like cranked down, but snugged up so we get all the holes lined up. I'm going to pull it all back apart, scuff it, and paint it. And then we're going to clean up all the metal debris and we're going to seal it and bolt it in. I think it's going to look sick. But I'm kind of partial. It's my Jeep, so. Alright, you guys, so here's a redo. 2 extremely light coats of primer, enough to give it a cover, and then sand it with 600 grit. Let that dry for about 30 minutes, 45 minutes. Then I did 2 light coats of black and let that sit for about an hour. Now we're going to do 2 coats of matte clear. The matte clear states let it sit a few minutes between part coats. We're going to aim for 2 coats just like I did the frame around it on the truck. And then hopefully let that sit for a while. Then we'll go ahead and put it on the truck. So we're going to shake the can, and I'm just doing it for demonstration purposes. I've already shaken it for a hot minute. And then you want to go, like I stated, when you do the paint and do the primer, you want to overlap the edges. That way, when you do this, you get a nice even coat. Let me get this coat down and I'll show you guys what it looks like. Now you might see a little streaking with the first coat, but reading instructions or whatever with the can, it states a few minutes between coats. I'm aiming for 2. Now I went side to side. The next one I'll be running the length of the blank. And then I'll move that back indoors to sit in a controlled temperature room. Basically because the house is about 72 inside right now. And then let it sit for a couple hours. And once that's done, we'll put some RTV on the truck, snug up the bolts, get it sitting for the night, and in the morning we'll crank it down finally. So far so good. Second time's a charm, right? So once your paint has cured, you want to wipe down your window frame, like here. You guys can see where I've drilled the holes. And yes, some of them are close, but I think with the nuts that they secured, gave us and everything, we'll be okay. You're going to take some RTV. I've got some Black Ultra RTV. I said earlier in this video that I got the wrong hardware kit. Well, it was also missing the RTV, but Affordable Offroad offered to send some, and I already had some in the garage, so it didn't make any sense if I wasn't going to use it. So what you want to do is make a small strip, kind of like you're gluing in a window seal. If you guys haven't glued in a window seal, you don't need a whole lot. So I'll try to do this. Sorry guys. Just apply steady pressure on the back of the tube through the nozzle. You want to make sure you go around every bolt hole. That way it seals it. And this is key because if you don't do this, it can leak later on. And we already had a leak, so we don't want that going on. Let me get my camera put down so I can do this. During the install of my window blank, doing the bolts and showing you guys how I did it, my camera died. So here's the finished product. My overall review of this window blank, great fitment, pretty easy product to put in. Like I said, I had a hiccup getting the nuts and bolts and even the RTV from Affordable Offroad with the original shipment. Their person who did the shipment was out when they shipped this, but they made right by it. They offered to send me RTV, but I already had some. They sent me the bolts second day, so that's no problem. I'd highly recommend it. If you guys want to black out your windows or you guys want to put something on it down the road, this is the way to go. I'm thinking maybe eventually I'll mount a fuel can on it. They do offer recessed blanks and storage cubbies. I just didn't want anything inside the vehicle near my kids in the back seat. So this was another option I had. You guys can see how we painted to blend it all in. You guys can see some of the RTV. I'll be cleaning that up later. Thanks for watching, y'all, and have a good day.